Florida Governor Ron DeSantis says it's wrong for drag queens to read to children in libraries with the consent of their parents to learn about love and acceptance. But DeSantis has no problem with little children listening to vile hate preachers that call for the extermination of LGBTQ people. So when Republicans say they want to protect children, they're being quite selective. In 2019, I helped organize a protest in Orlando. We were picketing the virulently homophobic Make America Straight Again conference. This sick event was celebrating the Gay Pulse nightclub massacre that killed 50 people and injured dozens more. Inside a tacky strip mall, Revival Baptist Church hosted this conference where elementary and middle school-aged children were told how LGBTQ people were evil degenerates who deserved the death penalty. One of the main conference speakers, Pastor Steve Anderson, briefly left the conference. On his way out, I interviewed him.
I wish that every homo died. I want my children to live in a country where they don't have to look at these freaks every day. I'm not going to make these stupid distinctions, LGBT. It's all one category, sodomites.
Young children in Florida should be taught this garbage? Governor Ron DeSantis offered no comment on this disgusting conference. He and his Republican legislative sock puppets provided no condemnation. The governor seemingly had no problem with the spewing of this message in the presence of kids.
Sorry, freaks, I gotta go. Get in and die.
That white-hot intensity of hate did not move Republicans to speak out. Instead, these phony hypocrites want to stop this message.
We're trying to tell them that people are allowed to be who people are allowed to be.
What message do you want to send to them?
Love is love, and you should believe it.
So in the warped, twisted world of Florida Republicans, the children at our protest who are learning about love and tolerance are being, quote, indoctrinated, while the children who were taught to despise people and wish death upon them are receiving a legitimate spiritual education. Who's actually grooming and being indoctrinated? The children inside that hate house, disguised as a church, are victims of spiritual and psychological abuse. Where is Ron DeSantis, and why isn't he passing strict laws to stop these youth from being brainwashed into bigotry? Maybe because he supports these teachings. It seems like the governor of Florida is insincere and has an agenda that has nothing to do with protecting children. It appears that anything goes in Florida as long as it has the thinnest veneer of religion to justify it. You can even preach mass extermination to little impressionable kids if it's funneled through the prism of faith. So the solution is simple. All drag queens should immediately be ordained by the LGBTQ Metropolitan Community Church, known as MCCs. There are 14 MCCs distributed throughout most regions in the Sunshine State. Any attempt by the state to uphold the gospel of death while banning the gospel of decency would have to be found unconstitutional. Republicans would bellow, "Those drag queens aren't real preachers." Yet the guy who screams "get AIDS and die" is a legit holy man? And how would the courts decide who qualifies as a real reverend in a world where anyone could easily purchase the credentials online? Furthermore, Florida's arts community and historical societies should confer special recognition of drag as a noble art form with historical significance. Drag queens were among those present and fought at the 1969 Stonewall Rebellion in New York City's Village. And now that has morphed into international gay pride parades that sometimes draw more than 1 million spectators. Florida Republicans, good news! You really can play a constructive role in protecting children. You can start by keeping them far away from your good friends who exploit religion to indoctrinate hate. Of course, we know you won't do this, and your silence is instructive. We see exactly who you are by your selective moral outrage and exploitation of children to promote your extremist agenda.